I'm not happy about this. No, I would not trust my life. I would not trust it. Welcome back to Life as Usual. We are going to take on some new projects. It's very exciting. In the last, I don't know how many, Alex, 10 episodes or so, we did the front end of the car. This time we are going to work at the rear end of the car. Projects will be involving how to raise the rear of the car, because actually we have received multiple requests on how to raise the rear of the car, because we have made a video on how to raise it on the front of the car. We are going to address the issue of the wheel arch over here. Okay, because some people are getting rust over here. Now, I've addressed this last year. I've made a video, and actually the video, it wasn't a success, so I'm going to redo it, but it's not a problem because there are some adjustments that I'd like to add, so it works fine. We are going to also show you how to remove the steps if you need to renew your side steps as well. We're going to do a bit of painting. We're going to work on the rear brakes. We are going to work on the handbrake. So there's going to be a lot of projects coming up. First thing first, okay? Before you start doing any of this, so because I don't want to hear more excuses, you must be able to work on your car, okay? Don't be scared to work on your car. And first thing first, I'm going to show you how safely, this video is going to be, yeah? I'm going to show you how safely you can raise the rear end of the car, okay? From the rear axle. Okay, and we're going to do it on a slope. If you remember, our driveway is on a slope, so the car is like that way at the moment, just like this, okay? So we are going to raise it on a slope, and I'm going to show you how we can do that safely. Now, we are going to use some of the tools. These tools, I have already reviewed them in the previous episodes. What I haven't realized, actually, I haven't thought about it much, but actually, what I was recommending the tools from an auto store that's called Halfords in the UK. But of course, we have people from Australia, we have people from Canada, we have people from the USA, we have people from France reaching out. So we have, multiple people who are reaching out. So it wouldn't be fair if I just show you where I got them from the UK. I'm going to provide an alternative, and I'm going to link it from Amazon, okay? Now, these products, I have not used them, but I feel like they may be good enough because they are more or less same specification as the ones we have. So I will leave the links for these ones in the description. So without further ado, should we just get started? This is the longest
intro in the world.
Yeah, but I needed to introduce you to the new series that we're going to start, and it's going to be big, okay? Yeah. Now, remember, I'm not going to be working on this car on a daily basis for a few reasons. Number one, we don't have a shelter. We're just working on our driveway. And it's going to be raining for the next, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, so today is actually the last day. So I'm going to show you how to raise the car. I'm going to put it down, and then I'm going to continue this in about a week or so, okay? Or whenever I get the chance to do it. Okay, but for you, you're going to be seeing the videos every week. So it's not going to be a problem for you. It's only going to be a problem for me. But with a small cut, it's all going to be sorted. Okay, so let's start just like we did last time. What we need to do is raise the car to maximum height, which is the off-road height. Now, let me just remind you how to do that again one more time. Come with me. I need to remind you of something. Once we raise the car from the back, it will no longer be able to support itself or to hold itself on the rear parking brake. So what's going to happen is the car will want to roll back. So we need to fix that. How we're going to fix that is by making sure the front wheels are secured to the ground, okay, before we raise the car from the back, okay? Something I just wanted to let you know before we continue, okay? So this is important. So don't rush in raising the car in the back before making sure the car is settled and is anchored from the front. When I say anchored, I'll show you what I mean. So we are going to start by turning the car on, of course, because we cannot operate this without having the car on. The gearbox is going to be on P. This special program will going to be just off, which is the normal, and it's going to be on high. And we're going to click this one as much as possible, I think 3 times, to raise it to, or I think 2 times, sorry, and raise it to the off-road height. That will give us enough clearance, and also will reduce the travel of the suspension once we raise the car, okay? So we have to do this while the car is turned on, and after we do this, just give it a little bit more time for the compressor to compress the air and make sure there's enough air in the tank. Next step would be for us to secure the front wheel, because once, like I said previously, once we raise the rear wheels, the car will no longer be held by the parking brake, okay? So we need to make sure these wheels are in place. We are on a slope, remember, it's a steep slope. So what we're going to use, there are steel wheel chocks, with the ones that came with the vehicle. Okay, so these ones came with the vehicle, and back in the vehicle, you can use them. Why I like to use them, because here has sharp edges and has sharp edges here, and actually the tire sits on them, okay? So I'm going to delocate them in the middle of the tire, okay? and we're going to do a test on it. So we're not just going to leave it there, we're going to do a test, okay?
How are we going to test it?
I will show you in a bit, okay? So this is going to be from the back. These from Halfords, which you can buy online. You can buy a cheap one. You don't need an expensive ones. But these ones are steel. Again, these are steel. They're not made of plastic. These are steel wheel chocks. However, they are made for smaller tires. But it's not important in this case what we're using it for, because the car is not going to roll forward. It's going to either roll backwards. It's going to shift from side to side. So why are we still using this one in the front? Well, sorry, I should say I'm going to put this one in the front. But why am I using it in the front if the car is not going to roll upwards? Because this will help from stopping the car from shifting left to right. Okay, so the car is not only going to go back, it could shift this side or this side. Okay, so this is going to be in the front to stop it from shifting. So I'm going to put this one exactly in the front. Okay, just like I did. Now let's do the next tire. So again, here is the same thing. I'm going to put this small one in the front. Okay, make sure it's in properly, and then I'm going to put this one from the back. So how we're gonna confirm that this is actually working? We're gonna go back inside the car, and I'm gonna put it on neutral. I'm gonna release the handbrake. I'm gonna left on the brakes. I'm going to see if this will hold the car from rolling back. Okay, so now that we're inside, I'm going to put the car on neutral. The handbrake is still on, so I'm gonna release the brakes, see if the car rolls back. The car has not rolled back. Perfect. Now, by the way, I have an issue with the handbrake. We'll discuss it in a different video, but I do have an issue with handbrake, and this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this job. The handbrake is released, the car is neutral, and slowly, I'm gonna release my foot on the brake. Is the car rolling back? Yes, it is. And now it stopped. So now the car is fully supported on the wheel chocks. It's not held by the brakes, not held by the gearbox, or it's not held by the handbrake. However, I'm going to be putting things back to normal. So my foot on the brake, lift the handbrake up, so that's the handbrake engaged. I'm going to put the gearbox on P, so that's in parking. So now 100% the car is held by the wheel chocks as confirmed, and as well as the handbrake. So as you can see, the car has actually moved a little bit, but that's okay because the car was resting on the rear wheel shocks. Now the front, can you see how it moved? So we're gonna have to push this one back. Next, I'm going to show you where to raise the car using the hydraulic jack, and where we're gonna put the axle so we can raise the car. So this is the back of the car. This is the front of the car, and I'm gonna go under the back wheel over here. Okay, this is the wishbone. I think it's called wishbone, this one. And now we're gonna go that way. Can you see both of these exhaust pipe? We're gonna go that bit there is where we have to raise it from. Let me see if I can zoom out to show you. Okay, so it's between both of these exhausts right there. Okay, now you can see me here hitting a huge obstacle. I am unable to lift the car from that point because the trolley jack is too wide to fit between those two exhausts, and the direction of the video will change because of this obstacle, unfortunately. Now we could put it on a differential, but I have a different idea. What we can do is raise it from the wishbone over here and secure it safe, then raise it from the other side and secure it safe. Let's start with this side here. So we are going to use the jack and put it in this position here and raise it, then put the jack stand here, and then use the hydraulic jack to raise it from there, then put the jack stand there. Okay, so let's start by doing that. Make sure you stay away from the car. Now some people tell you to open the door so the air suspension doesn't move on you, but I personally do not recommend that, because at any point you could close the door, forget. If you have someone working with you, by mistake they could close the door and then something could change. So I'd rather not do that and stay safe. Okay, now some people may disagree with me, just to let you know. So let's see what the comments are going to be like. But now we are raising, and we're just gonna keep checking our progress. So we are going to put the jack stand just over there on this rear wishbone. Remember not to be under the car for long. Keep listening for any cracking or anything that should not be there. And we're just going to position the axle. Now we are going to drop a trolley jack now, slowly. Watch how the axle stand bend. This is very bad, and it's about to get worse. That did not go as smooth as I wanted it to be, if I'm honest with you. But the car is on the jack, but I feel like we need to raise it more, isn't it, Alex?
A little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. Gonna raise the jack. Now I'm going to lower the jack and see if the car will settle. This is very, very bad. This is one of the worst sounds I've heard for a very, very long time. And not to mention, it's not safe whatsoever. That was just the jack stand settling. Okay, now the jack stand is in and you can see how the wheel is raised. Okay, now let's do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm going to raise the car from this side. Okay, so can you see the wheel? Yep. So once we do that, remember, the car will be held not by the rear brakes, but by one jack stand and by the trolley. Okay, so it may shift left to right. So we need to be careful at this stage. Stay away from the car. Focus on the jack stand and see how it's moving. So not only did I have a slope to the back, I also have a slope to the left hand side. So you can see the car is tipping to the left hand side and it wants to fall over to the left. This is absolutely nerve-wracking. Did you hear that crack? Okay, so now we lifted it from this side. Next, we are going to put the jack stand. Can we put the jack stand from here? We can do, but we're going to be working here, so that's why it's better for the jack stand to be in the back. So we are going to carefully position the jack stand. So if you pay attention, I'm actually away from the car. I'm not underneath it. I put my hand and then stay away. I keep listening for any cracking or anything moving, any metal moving, any wood moving, anything like that, just in case I need to move away from the car as soon as possible, okay? I'm not happy about this. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. No, I would not trust my life. I would not trust it. I know the second jack stand doesn't look like it's in the correct place, but I promise you it is in the correct place as per the manufacturer recommendation. If I look and sound scared right now, it's because I am absolutely terrified. I promise you that was not good time whatsoever. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about that the placement. Okay, turn it off for a bit. At this point, I had to stop and restart my train of thoughts. And I'm glad I did because things are about to go south really, really quick and we're about to have a big problem on our hand. Okay, so I came to a point, unfortunately, because my jack doesn't reach the axle in the back. It's the reason why it doesn't reach it is just too wide. Now, from you, it may be okay. But for me, look what happened when I raised it. So let's go down and I'll show you. When I start raising the car from this side, can you see the jack stand, how it's tilting? I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's tilting. Yeah. You can see how it's tilting? Yeah, that is not safe. Okay, that's not safe. So I'll put another jack stand there. I mean, you could put the other jack stand and it's fine, but because we tilted this one and that one is much lower, that's why it's happening this way. We have to work on one wheel at a time or one side at a time, so we can either raise that bit or that bit, not both together, unless you get a different jack and jack stand, okay? So for now, we are going to lower this bit and just work on that bit. So I'll show you how I'm going to lower it. So stay away from the car. Stay away from the car. The car will make a lot of sounds. That jack, I'm not sure what's going to happen to it. It may tilt that way. Now we are going to lower the car slowly and just keep an eye on that jack stand, okay? We have a backup jack stand there just in case. Okay, see that jack stand? Yeah. How we did that? Yeah, now the car is sat on this one and the jack stand on the other side. So the other side, the jack did. See how I saved the car? That was very, very, very dangerous actually. So perhaps learn from my mistake. Okay, so now I'm gonna continue lowering this slowly. So I repositioned the jack stands and slowly, I'm going to lower the car again to safe position. Okay. You can see the jack stand is moving. I position another jack stand in front of the wheel. Let me show you where. So I position another jack stand here, okay, just for safety. So now I'm going to drop the car all the way down, slowly again. We're not out of the woods yet, so that's good. Now we're gonna go on the other side and we are going to raise the car again from there. But basically we are going to use jack stand at one wheel at a time. Lesson learned. This is, you know, I had to learn this in a difficult way. That's the thing. So when you do things and you feel like it's unsafe, don't continue on doing it. Keep your eyes peeled and just pay attention of what you're doing. We have decided rather than deleting this scene of me making this mistake, I'd rather have this scene in place. So We should all learn from each other's mistakes. So yeah, so I'm going to be raising one wheel at a time, just like now is safe to do so, and we are going to carry the work. It is getting dark on us. We have been filming all day. So what we're going to do now is we are going to remove the jack away now and put the car into a safe position, and we're going to continue tomorrow into the other projects and other repairs. But for now, while I'm doing this, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. So after this video, I really couldn't sleep and I really wanted to do it. I wanted to raise both rear wheels at the same time. So I had a few days to think about it, and a week later I went out and I did it. I managed to do it. So on the next video, I'm going to show you how to raise both wheels safely 100%. And I put 2 backup axle stands in the back, and I still have this. This is just, it's not holding anything, but it's just there. Okay, so for me, that is safe enough for a few reasons. Now, this is good enough for me if I need to maybe work on the brakes in the back, which we will be doing. If I need to replace the wheels, which we will be doing. If I need to disassemble the